Listen to me, motherfucker. I'm talking. I say horrible things sometimes because I think they're funny. My podcast is a verbal mosh pit because it's just me pinwheeling around. You don't know where the fuck I'm going to wind up, and I generally have no idea when it's going to end or start. I'm responsible for this whole goddamn thing. I want a little respect from you people. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. I warn my producer right now. This may be a long recording, arduous process. There may be a lot of starts and stops this week because I have done nothing this week. I did nothing, certainly nothing I can tell you people about. Why would I share anything with you? Who do you people think you are, prying into my private life, tuning into my free show where I broadcast everything I've ever done in the history of my life? I've run out of anecdotes. I need to start living life just to keep up with this goddamn show. I mean, every time I'm sitting inert on the couch, I'm just like, fuck, I need to go do something so I have a story this week. I need to go, maybe I punch my neighbor, maybe go drink the pool. Drink the pool? Why, really? Would that make a good anecdote? Hey, you know what I did? I drank my pool this week. Well, if I drank the whole pool, certainly it's a good anecdote. Then it's crazy. Then I'm just chock full of chlorine and anger. My wife is. Did I tell you this about my wife? Why would I tell you, folks? Did I tell you this? You've been here for a minute. My wife. We live in a one-bedroom apartment. All right. The same one-bedroom apartment we've lived in since 1997. When I was rich and I was making money writing on television shows, I said to Karen, hey, you want to move? Should we go get a nicer place? Like, so I could have an office and I'm not trying to type while you smoke and watch Dr. Oz? And she's like, nah, let's stay in this place. It'll be good. We'll sock away money. Yeah, sure we will. We socked it away into some sockeye salmon and ate it raw. Again, I invested in sushi futures, which bottomed out. So we live in the same place. And I will tell you, I like where I live because I really like the courtyard atmosphere. It's got a nice pool. I almost got Lily in there, but she neglected to get involved, instead deciding to live in a pile of dirt. So she's like, no, I need to find a much shittier place because as long as it's close to a mall, I'm in. And she's in. That's what she did. She found this building. So, it's a nice courtyard building, and I can see into people's windows, which I'm always a fan of, as you know. And it's a lot of light shining in. I don't have a lot of cell phone reception, but that's more AT&T's fault than it is my house's fault. It's not a house, it's an apartment. Yes, I understand that. So, I can't have dogs. My wife wants a dog. I need to get her a dog. I need to get her a yard. My wife's hung in there. She deserves a dog, right? But then the problem is we're there, and now my wife, she gets frustrated because, we've been there 13 years or whatever the hell it is, or 14 years. Let's see, 97, 2011. Yeah, 14 years. So we've had the carpets cleaned a few times, but then they get a little, they get to be carpety. They get, you people are walking. I don't take my shoes off. I'm not Japanese. So, I walk through the house. I stomp around on my shoes. And so she's like freaking out about how dirty the carpets are and how the walls, she wants to paint the walls. I'm like, why do you want to paint the house? Who the fuck cares? Who cares? It's not our house. I wouldn't care if fucking, Shepard Fairey came in and put a goddamn Obey sticker on my goddamn wall. If he made an Obey mural of my face on the wall, that'd be fine with me. I don't care. Who ruined this fucking joint? It's not mine. It's got a nice pool, and it's got a great outside deal, and it's got a really nice shower. The shower is fucking amazing, I was just home. I went to Chicago this past week. And I love my buddy Max, and I love his house, and I love his kids, and everything like that. Oh my God, the worst shower in history. Really. Actually, I take that back. Not as bad as my mom's shower. And although my mom's not listening, so she's. And I said that on here when I told my mom how bad the shower was, and I mean now 9 years later, I still hear about it. Really? That's, you know what you could have done in those 9 years? Fix the shower. But she did not. But Max's shower, because again, he doesn't need a lot of water pressure. He's got kids. He doesn't have a huge fat guy trying to swab himself off every goddamn day. So I walk in and there's like no water pressure. You turn it on and it just the water comes out. I don't even know. It's like an afterthought. That shower's literally you're standing under an afterthought and just getting kind of wet. And so it takes me 15 minutes to take a shower because I'm trying to rinse off places and get suds going. It's hard. There's no water pressure. But then I come home and it's a goddamn fire hose. It's awesome. So that alone, fuck painting the joint and the shitty carpets. As long as I got the nice shower, I'm in. But my wife talks to the fucking landlord. First of all, she there are guys next door cleaning carpets, and she talks to them about coming over and cleaning our carpets. They're like $40 to clean our carpets. She goes, okay. And she looks at me, and then she's like, can we do it? I go, I guess, since you already told them okay. So they come over and they clean the carpets, which is fine. But then Karen wants to paint the house, and she goes to the landlord. She's like, hey, you need to paint the walls of the house. He's like, I'll tell you what, I'll give you all the paint for free. You can pay the painter $120, and he'll paint your apartment. And Karen's like, great. And then she comes to me, and I go, what the fuck are you doing? No, you can't do that. She's like, what do you mean? And I go, we don't live here. Why would you pay somebody to paint it? This is fucked. No, I give me a sledgehammer. I'll smash in these motherfucking walls. This isn't my building. Why would he has to pay the painter to pay the apartment? Well, I know, but he's saying he won't, but he said he'll give us the paint for free. No, don't settle. He knows he's tricking you, and you're letting him trick you. And I should tell you, our landlord, the guy who owns the building, he's like a 78-year-old French guy. I love this guy. Like, I want to kiss him on the forehead every time I see him because he keeps the house clean. He keeps all the there's gardeners and painters and plumbers. You make a phone call, shit's fixed in an hour. I mean, he does not fuck around. When we first moved in there, I was really, because I don't like bugs. I'm not a bug guy. I don't know who is other than Harvey Klinger, but that's a Brady Bunch joke for a million old people. But I am not a bug guy, and so I'm like, if I see one bug, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. So when we moved into the house, we bought these little roach traps. They're like little, I guess they're roach motels, but they were black little things, and you put them in all the cabinets just in case. I mean, I didn't see one, but I'm putting it in there just in case. So we move in, and our neighbor it was this long-haired, shaggy, long-haired dude. He looked like Neil Diamond from the 70s, like the mutton chops and the long kind of shaggy hair. He almost looked like he could be working as Super Diamond, like a Neil Diamond impersonator. It was terrible, but he had the hair for it. And he was banging. He had some Korean girlfriend or some Asian girlfriend, and she lived there. She was pretty cute, but filthy. I mean, they were filthy. Like, we started talking to them the first week, and we looked in their house, and I'm not. This is true, all right? I saw on their table, on their coffee table, a fish. I don't know if she was scaling it and gutting it or whatever. I don't know what these people do. But she had a fish, not live, dead or whatever. It's on a bunch of newspapers on the coffee table in the kitchen, in the living room. A fish, like a big fucking cod or whatever the fuck. Yeah. And it's just gutted, and it's sitting there on his coffee table. And she's not actively cleaning it. She's not actively filleting it. She's like sitting there with her feet up on the same table watching TV while he's talking to me in the doorway. I'm like, are you taking a break from fish to tail? Because I don't know if you've noticed. I'm surprised she didn't have her fucking feet just kicked up on it like it was a goddamn fish stool. But it's just sitting right there, flayed, open, guts, and hanging. And then there's like garbage on the floor. And I'm like, this is bad. This is real bad. And sure enough, we saw a bug. Karen and I saw a bug. And not in my house. I saw it like on his like doorstep. Like when I was talking to him, I saw it like on his rug. Dude, if you got bugs on the rug, that's a problem, because that means they were in the kitchen. They're like, fuck, we're bored in the kitchen. There's so many of us here. It's overcrowded. We need to go out into the living room now. So these bugs had made their way to the living room, and I immediately called Mario, who owns my building, and I'm like, dude, listen to me. I explained that I saw a bug, and I said, I will lose my fucking mind if there are bugs in my house. And Mario, you would think, would send a warning or anything like that. No, he came over, knocked on the guy's door. He's like, let me in. And he went in and he goes, you have 2 days to clean your house or I'm kicking you out. Because here's the thing, when you get a lease, you get a year-long lease, and then we just go month to month, and we go month to month with Mario. So I'm sure they were doing the same thing. And he goes, you have 2 days or else you're done. And, of course, they didn't even bother to try to clean it up. They just moved, you know what I mean, because they knew they weren't going to be able to do anything. And so then as they were moving, while they were moving, Mario had 3 guys spraying and like all this different stuff. And I've been there 14 years. I've never seen a bug in my house. Never seen a bug in my apartment. Probably because he knows that the second that I saw one, that would be it. And I would just go Virginia Tech on fucking everybody and fucking pull on a gas mask and shoot somebody. Because I just, not interested. Maybe I shouldn't use the massacre of students as shorthand. Maybe I shouldn't do that. So, but he takes care of everything. And the thing is, again, here's the here's the poker I play with my wife, as I've told you guys before. She's all gung-ho about doing something, and then I'm like, all right, well, then you should, start doing it. Well, then that's the hard part. You know what I mean? She doesn't want, because like, if she wants to have the apartment painted, here's the way she's mentioned it a few times. Here's the way I always get out of it. I'm stupid. I'm a jerk. She's like, yeah, we got to get the apartment painted and all that. I go, that's fine. I go, you do realize if you do that, we need to move all of the furniture out of the living room and either put it into the center of the room or put it in the bedroom and then take all of that out and let him paint. I go, we have so much stuff. Do you really want to start moving everything just so a guy can paint the walls ecru or whatever the fuck he's going to do? And then she's just kind of like, oh, yeah, well, it's okay. I'll do it. And I go, really? You'll do it? You'll move chairs and you'll move the television and you'll really? Okay. And then inevitably it just kind of disappears into the ether, which is exactly what I wanted to do. You don't have to fake laugh, hon. It's okay. Why did I call you hon? Why am I calling you hon? I'm lethargic, folks. I can't lie to you. I almost took this week off. I wanted to because I did nothing. I did nothing this past week except get 4 hours of sleep a night. That's what I did. I went home to Chicago, and then I would be up late until like 3, and then I would be up later. All right, I would stay up till 3 was at Mex's house, and Mex would be like, dude, I gotta hit the rack at 3, and I'd be like, okay. And then he'd go to bed at 3, and I'm awake because you know me, I live upside down. I have a weird schedule. So then I would go upstairs, and I would go into my room, and then I would be up until 6. And then he would get me up at 10:30 to work or do whatever we were doing at his house. So why am I being so shady? Whatever. He would get me up at 10:30 to hang out at his house, and I would just get up and zombie my way into the bathroom and just floss and in a fog, and but that was like 6 days in a row where I only got 4 hours of sleep, and I'm not even joking. Where I was like, oh, some days I got 8 hours, and some days I got no. I took one nap finally in the afternoon once. I got to straighten my schedule out, dude. I got to go get 2 hours of sleep, seriously. But that was early. That was like Thursday of last week because I left right after. I remember I recorded Tuesday because I was on a plane Wednesday, and then I came home Tuesday. Yesterday, yeah, Monday night. I'm out of it, folks. I don't blame you for fucking fast forward and look for something good or go listen to somebody else this week. I gotta tell you, I am fucking completely out of it, out of my skull, out of my tree. Just lethargic. Like I tried to, because then even last night I went to bed, like this morning I went to bed at like 10, and then got up to, we're late today. I mean, what is it, 7? It's fucking brutal. You guys don't care. What do you care about what time it is? I'm just like, folks, it's 7, it's this, it's that. This isn't even a show really when you think, and it's not. I try to say that this is a show and it'll catch on and people will be like, oh, this is a great show. No, this is me. This is you on the phone with me. All of you, everybody who's listening right now, you're just on the phone with me and I'm telling you about my fucking day and I don't give you a fucking chance to talk. None of you get to tell me about your day because quite frankly, I don't care at all about your day. I barely care about my day. The only reason I have to tell you about my day is I've fucking completely immersed myself in doing this and it's the only thing I've got going on in my life, so I have to tell you about my day or else I got nothing. Because you know what? Then I'm just sitting at home with nobody to talk to at all. No one. Hang up. Seriously, hang up, folks. This is not a phone call that I would want to pay any attention to. I don't know, understand why you are involved, why you enjoy it. Perhaps you don't enjoy it. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm groggy. I was in I'm not even in a food coma. Like usually when I go home to Chicago, I got my plans. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go eat here. I'm going to go eat here. Like I got my food because it's Chicago. But, we found a deep dish pizza place here in L.A. that's pretty good, so I didn't need to, do that. All right, when I go home, here's where I eat. I usually eat I usually go to White Castle because there's no White Castle out here. I go to Portillo's, which is a hot dog joint, and then I go to Home Run Inn, which is the best pizza in the world. And then I go to, well, that's it. I think that's it. Well, this time around, all right, here's what I wanted when I was going to go home. What did you just write? 12 minutes? Fuck, this is a long phone call, folks. That's 12 minutes of nothing. That's 12 minutes of roaches and me drinking a swimming pool. What the hell? Please, again, silence. Silencio. Yes, please. This, you know what? Let's do that. Let's try an experiment. And believe me, it's not going to be that hard this week. You don't laugh at anything I say. Let's see if that changes the game at all. The fact that you're trying to be nice and encourage me and get me moving forward, that's fine. You're trying to be my little rocket booster, and I appreciate it. But let me just plod forward and get through this phone call. That's all I need to do. Get these folks. Look, it's near the end of year 3. I don't even know if I'm doing year 4. Certainly, if this show's any indication, I got nothing left for year 4. And I gotta hope that this is always I have to hope this is the week nobody new listens. I'm always trying to grow the show and try to get people on board. And every time I fire off a clunker like this, and I say every time as if it happens a lot, it doesn't happen a lot. Fuck, last week's show was genius. How genius was last week's show? Can we all remember that? Let's all remember the good times of last week's show when I couldn't stop talking about snakes. All right. which apparently touched a nerve because everybody wrote me with that phrase. Somehow, some people were hashtagging it on Twitter. Good for them. Yes. I got to stop saying good for you and good for them. Damn it, it's my crutch. I told Mex, I even told Mex, I go, dude, punch me when I say that. And, good. Yeah. Lily just punched me, which is good. I got to stop saying good for you. It's become my go-to default. Well, no, you didn't have to punch me that time. I'm explaining it. Sometimes I have to say it to explain why. But if I say it in the context I've explained to you, sometimes people will tell me something, I go, good for you. I don't understand the hitting. I mean, you're having fun punching me, which is great, but you're doing it out of context, so it's not going to cure me of anything. Yeah, okay, keep it cocked. That's fine. I don't know if that helps me. You're going to want to just punch me for no reason. All right. Good for you. You didn't punch me. Oh, what the hell? Damn it, I thought I'd sneak one in. But it's become my go-to default response. Like if somebody says something to me, I go, wow, good for you. Yes, you punched me again. Good for you. Oh, I said it again. Stupid. See, I can't stop saying it. Well, even your punches aren't helping. But Mex wouldn't punch me. If Mex would have punched me, it might have been a deterrent. Because, he can box. But I went home to Chicago, and I was there. No, stop. See, don't keep it cocked. It's not. I haven't said it that much that you need to keep it cocked and at the ready. But if you hear it, leap in with a right. All right, good. Almost. See, I almost did it. I stopped myself that time. I got to stop. I hate that. Don't you hate when you get like a verbal tick or a crutch? Especially when you're doing a show? How terrible is that? There's nothing worse than getting a verbal tick or a crutch when you're talking for 2 hours. Holy God. Then people are just like, I think he said good for you 1,000 times. Go ahead. That time I deserved it. All right. I'll take the punches. Why not? Oh, I'm going to walk out here with this crazy swollen arm. Awesome. I thought you were a sub. Why are you enjoying punching me? Reversing the roles, are we? Oh, do you really? I thought you were a sub. All right. All right, you're topping today, I guess. All right, so. That's fine. Good for you. You're topping today. Damn it! Again with the punching. We'll see what'll hold out first, my arm or your fist. Yeah, exactly. Shake it out. Yeah, I told you. All right. What was I saying? So I'm in Chicago, man. I was looking forward to going to. And I should tell you that, like my buddy David, who I stayed with, he can't. He doesn't eat fast food anymore. Like because he's a grown up. And I don't blame him. That's fine for him. But I should say I don't eat fast food either here. I don't eat McDonald's and all that bullshit. But if I'm in Chicago, I have to go where I have to go. Home Run Inn is my favorite pizza, and White Castle. You got to have White Castle. I mean, I can't believe there's not a White Castle in Vegas. It's infuriating to me. Karen's actually bought like frozen White Castles here, and you can make them in the microwave. You throw them in for a minute, but then that's even worse. Then it's just a hockey puck with a pickle on it. I mean, it's just terrible. What are you making a face for?
Isn't there a White Castle?
No, there's no White Castle out west. No. Listen, I go to White Castle because it's the best, but I buy a fat burger when I'm way out west because there are no White Castles out here.
White Castle at the Palms.
Nope. Google it. I'm serious. I went to White Castle's website looking to see, because this was a year ago, and I was like, you know what? I should go to Vegas for a White Castle. I would have actually driven at the time. For some reason, they were in my brain. But this time around, so when I go home, I go to White Castle. So Mex dragged me. Unfortunately, because I don't rent a car when I go home, Mex picks me up because most of our stuff's going to be self-contained. If I have a show or something when I'm in Chicago, sometimes I rent a car. But most of the time, I'm just at David's, and he lets me use his car if I need to go somewhere. But he wound up schlepping me around, So we went to White Castle, and poor David, he can't. He wants nothing to do with it, and then he's got to sit there in the drive-thru, and I yell. He makes me have fun of me because I yell at the drive-thru. Why am I talking about this? Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit about burgers. What are you looking at? You're looking it up? I'm telling you, you're going to find out there's no White Castle. But the thing I really wanted more than anything when I was going to go home this time was a gyro. Because I love gyros, folks. I'm a huge fan. And you can't get them out here. I mean, you sort of can, but they're not the same. There's like Daphne's Greek Cafe, and they're like steakums. Their gyros are like steakums, which are awful. So I was looking forward to going home. There's a place called Nicky's in Naperville that I'll go, and I just love tzatziki. And dude, folks, look, food to me is like porn, all right? I'm all over it. I can't get enough of it, and I never will get rid of it. I wanted to. I tried, but I can't. So I was excited about this gyro. I was looking for it the entire time. And I go to Nicky's, and I get myself a gyro, and it was fucking subpar. Like, I was furious about it. Yeah, don't make fun of me. So I went to Nicky's, and I was expecting, like, big, thick gyro strips. I fucking get it, and it's like shavings. Like, it was like eating a lamb belt. Oh, it was fucking terrible. It was just like, it was real thin and almost, look, gyros, they need to be thick. That's the whole point. Otherwise, you're eating just a pile of, you ever had bonito flakes? That's what it was like. It was like lamb bonito flakes. You never had bonito flakes? It's a Japanese cereal. No, it's not. It's bonito's a tuna, and then they dry it and they make broth with it and stuff. It looked like and that's what this lamb looked like. It was all curly. Like it should just be fucking heavy. I got nothing. I got nothing at all for you this week. Fucking groggy and lethargic. Because then I got off the plane. I had to go right to work. I had to go right to the fucking to Graveyardville. Hang up, folks. I'm serious. Go listen to last week's show. I was on the plane, and look, I told you a plane story last week about my apple juice. That's fine. And I wanted to sleep on the plane. I did. But when I flew back here from Chicago, on the way from L.A. to Chicago, it was great because I was playing. I had nobody next to me in the middle seat. I'm waiting and waiting. They close the door. I get to relax, and then I can ooze into both seats because I'm the fattest man alive. So I just put on my fucking headset and I go to sleep, which was great. It was a great flight. But on the way home, I was flying in a plane. It was of course jammed, packed, fucking full, and it was a 2-3-2 setup. So it was like two against the side of the plane, 3 in the middle, and then 2 on the other side of the plane. And I get a window seat, folks, because I don't ever go to the bathroom in the air. I don't move. I'm serious. I hunker down like a goddamn grizzly bear, and that's it. Nobody's moving. I'm not going anywhere. Nobody else is going anywhere. I used to sit in aisle seats. When I was crazy fat, when I was like 500 pounds, I would sit in an aisle seat because I would, first of all, apologize profusely to the person who had to sit next to me in the middle, and then I would do what I could to lean. The whole flight, I would lean into the aisle. My whole body, my left leg, I would creep over as much as I possibly could because I didn't want to inconvenience the person in the middle seat because I knew how fucking terrible it must be. That's got to be awful. And, most of the time people were polite about it, but sometimes you'd get that, person who was disappointed. And then if someone was shitty about it, in my head I'd just be like, well, you shouldn't have bought a middle seat, asshat. It's like whenever I'm sitting there when I know a plane's not full and then all the standby people get on, and the standby person they take a middle seat next to me, and then they're pissed off that I'm fat. I'm just like, dude, I'm sorry, you flew standby. That means fuck you. That means you got to put up with whatever the fuck they got. If they had a goddamn easy chair strapped to the wing and you had to sit in it, then you should be happy to get it, motherfucker, because you weren't even supposed to be on this goddamn flight. You showed up a day early or whatever the fuck and stood outside with a suitcase with your thumb out. You're hitchhiking at the motherfucking airport. You got no right to look at me and give me any goddamn shit. I bought a fat guy seat, and I was like, boy, I pray nobody's in the middle. Guess what? Nobody was supposed to be in the middle until you showed up with your fucking thumb out and bagged a ride to fucking Wichita. Hate them. Hate standby flyers. Can't stand it. Go home when you're supposed to go home. Buy a fucking ticket like everybody else. Don't bump up because you got to get home sooner. Who the fuck are you? Supposed to be important? If you're important, buy your own goddamn plane. Then you won't have to sit next to a fat guy. Put your thumb away and fly your Gulfstream back to fucking Tulsa. You jackass. Infuriating. I fucking hate standby flyers. I do not like it because their attitude is like they get pissed. It's like, dude, no, you have to take what you're essentially here for the scraps. You're the dog at the living room table of airports. You're hoping shit falls on the floor and you get it. You got no right to be fucking choosy if you're standing there with your thumb out hoping to get a goddamn ride on a jet. The miracle of air travel is cheapened by you and your attitude, you fuck. The miracle of air travel. There is no more miracle of air travel. It's over. Nobody gives a fuck. It's a flying bus. Everything's a goddamn flying bus. And I'm not saying, look, I'm not Joan Rivers. I'm not saying you got to put a goddamn suit and tie on and get on a goddamn plane. No, but still, recognize that you're sharing a space with everybody else and don't be a dick. It's like, all right, I mentioned Euros. What if I had bought a Euro and then brought it on the goddamn plane so everybody had to smell my lamb belt? I don't think so. Doesn't stop everybody else. Dude, McDonald's it fucking reeks. All right, McDonald's reeks. And once you get on the plane with your McDonald's and you open up that magic bag, you're not enchanting us with the smells of a faraway land. You're making us sick with grease at 27,000 feet. Put your double Angus burger away. It makes me sick. And look, the airlines have nobody else to blame but themselves because they stopped serving food. But when they served food, all anybody did was bitch about the goddamn food. So I don't blame the airlines for saying, hey, guess what? No more food. Because literally they were like, hey, here's powdered eggs and an apple. And everybody's like, oh, this is fucking terrible. All right, well, you can't have it anymore. Where's my powdered eggs and apple? Oh, my God, I'm starving. Instead, they walk around with hermetically sealed $5 packages of cheese and trail mix now. Like they wave it around like it's because when you're in the plane, again, your attitude completely changes. Because it's like when you're in the outside world, you've got myriad choices. You can go wherever the fuck you want. Then you get into the airport and you're like, fuck, it's kind of narrowed down. I guess I could go to Chili's too. Or I'd go to Manchu Wok or Panda Express, whatever the fuck. They had Burrito Beach in Chicago, and you could eat at those places. But you're also going to pay $9 for a sandwich because, again, no competition in the airport. They fucking hone it down. Although McDonald's is in the airport, and look, I don't eat McDonald's, but I had to buy McDonald's at the airport in Chicago. Unbelievably, they had a double fillet of fish. I saw the sign and I'm like, well, I got to buy that, right? Don't I have to buy that because I'm fat? But I ordered it and it was perfectly done. It was all squishy like a fillet of fish should be. And I thought it was going to be some magic sandwich. I'm like, oh, well, maybe they do something special to it or something different. A new sauce, perhaps a multigrain bun. No, they just piled another fucking fillet of fish patty on top of the other fillet of fish patty. Whomp. It almost looks like an accident in the kitchen. Like they just went, oh, look what I did. I'm so dumb I didn't recognize that there was a fish patty on there already. I've piled a second fish patty on. Put a sign up. Sell them. They weren't going to sell them, but a fat guy in line went, is that a double fillet of fish? Yes, it is. Bun top, hand, money exchanged. But sure enough, I saw it and I bought it. I did. And I couldn't eat the whole thing because I can't eat McDonald's. I can't eat like fucking heavy grease or like nonsense. When I get bad is when I'm mixing food. I can't mix food. If I eat fast food, if I bought a double fillet of fish and I ate it, I could probably eat that, but don't mix fries in because then that fucks the whole thing up. Then you just got a fucking grease wave in your goddamn stomach. If you have a stomach, which I don't. All right, so that was what I'm talking about. People in the goddamn airport looking to eat. Yes? Oh, the guy opened his McDonald's bag on the fucking plane. Oh, I wanted to murder him. So I get in the plane. It's 232, and I'm on the right-hand side. I'm against the window. Because I like to lean and go to sleep, leaning against the wall. That's how I like to do it. And I don't want anybody to bother me. I don't want anybody to go, excuse me, I have to go try to fake smoke in the bathroom, or I have to try to tamper with the alarm, or I've got to take a shit in a closet. That's why I don't use the bathroom also in the airplane because I don't think I'd fit. I'd have to piss in the sink. I mean, literally, you have to walk in. I can't even do a quarter turn. It's not for giants. The bathroom on the plane is not for giants. The plane is not for giants. The fucking Chilean miners had more room in their tubes than I have in a goddamn fucking airline seat. Look, I'm not breaking any new ground talking about the airlines, but it's all I did last week, so fucking embrace it. Jesus. Again, folks, there's a clunker every year. And this is it. This is this year's clunker. So I get on the plane, and I first of all, there's that nonsense outside where they're calling zones or whatever, group whatever. I will tell you that I tried to upgrade my flight. I tried to upgrade to first class. I've never tried that before in my entire life. I only had it happen once because Pardo fucking gravy trained me with him because he has so many miles with American or whoever. And I forget what airline it was, but he said, can I upgrade and can I bring my friend? And they said, yes. So we, clinked orange juice glasses and went to sleep. It was awesome. But now, I have some miles built up on my own with an airline. And so I stood in line with every standby idiot hoping to get on the plane and every guy in a wheelchair praying he can get a better seat. I don't even think this guy needed a wheelchair. He just rolled up in his wheelchair and then he hopped out and he's like, hey, you can see obviously that I'm handicapped. Can I sit in first class? Like it was one of those weird things. And it's just like, dude, they don't give a shit about you. They care more about your bag than you. I don't know why you think you're getting some sort of special treatment because your leg is bent. And sure enough, he didn't. But then I walked to the front and I said, hey, I've never upgraded before in my life. How do I do it? She goes, are you a platinum or gold club member? I said, nope. I just said, I have like a ton of miles. She's like, I'm sorry. You got to be a platinum or gold club member to upgrade. And that was it. End of discussion. I thought it was going to be an elaborate thing or I could complete my case. She didn't even look up from the keyboard. Nope, you got to be a platinum or gold member. And I already have a bunch of people who are trying to upgrade. She's almost like, she should have said, didn't you see that cripple in front of you? He wants to upgrade. Look at that guy limping around like he was in World War II. Because he was an old guy and his old wife, and they're pushing around in a wheelchair. And it wasn't his wheelchair. It was like the look, if you get a wheelchair from the airport, you got to go the whole route and have the guy push you around, right? Don't have your wife push you around because that takes away from the subterfuge. All right. He might have needed a wheelchair. I have no idea, folks. I didn't engage him in battle. Why would I have to do that? Why couldn't I just look at him and size him up with a glass? Why do I have to fight him to know that he needs a wheelchair? All right, never mind. So I get on the plane. They started doing group 1, group 2, group 3. And, dude, people in the airport, again, America is dying. America is failing as a country. It's all falling apart, folks. Look at you sitting at your work right now, wasting time listening to me give you the one-sided phone call about me being on a goddamn plane. Look at you devoting time to listening to the one bad show from year 3. See what I mean? Productivity goes down as you listen to me bitch about productivity going down. It's a never-ending circle. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, folks, everybody is lurking, waiting for their zone to get called. So nobody knows to get in line to really get on the plane because there are people from Group 6. They just called Group 1, and people from Group 6 are standing right by the thing waiting to be the first person on a group. And I understand why. I've figured out why. Because I became an asshole flyer this particular flight. Because normally I just check bags. I don't give a fuck about it. I go, I check my bag and I'll wait and I'll get it. It doesn't matter to me. But now that they're starting this $25 a bag bullshit, I'm like, well, I'm only going for like 4 days. Maybe I could actually bring. Because I used to bring. All right, I'll tell you this, folks. As a fat guy, when I would travel, I would bring like 6 pairs of pants and 10 shirts, and even for a 3-day trip, because I was worried I was going to sweat through my clothes on stage, and I wanted to have just as many clothes. I was Cher. That's who I was. I was fucking Cher. I needed to bring clothes changes with me on the goddamn road so I could change clothes all the time. I needed to always have a fresh costume handy that I could jump into. So now I've started to pare it down. I bring, a couple pairs of pants, 3 shirts. I bring enough for each day. Like I need a pair of shirt and a pair of pants and, socks, underwear, and whatever for one day. And if I'm gone 4 days, I bring, 4 of each, whatever. So I said, Karen's like, you know what, you should bring the garment bag and you can carry it on. So I became asshole flyer. I jammed my laptop into my duffel bag, and then I carried on my regular luggage. And it's important that you get on the plane in order to get the bin space, because if you don't get the bin space, they're gonna fucking take your thing and check it, and then you're fucked. You got to pay $25, and then you don't know where your bag goes, and it might not arrive, and who the fuck knows? So, God, this is awful. Shoot me, hang me, kill me. I'm educating you about airports. That's what it's come to, folks. I'm an infomercial of what not to do at the airport. Jesus Christ. This is a podcast from 1982. It is. I'm Stevie Ray Fromstein, and I'm telling you all about the fucking airports. Jesus Christ. Look him up. He's a comic. All right. I get on the goddamn plane. I'm Group 3. I jam my stuff into the overhead. Sit down. I'm fine. And again, the dance starts where you're hoping nobody sits by you. There's an open chair next to me. I'm going, oh, please, for the love of God, it would be so great if nobody sat with me just for this flight. But you say that every flight, so bargaining doesn't make any sense. But you can see when people are coming down the aisle, and then you see like petite ladies, and you're like, all right, well, I hope a little skinny lady sits next to me. That'll be fine. And people are walking down the aisle, and I see it. This big, just a fat dude. I mean, just a big fat dude. All right. And look, I'm a fat dude. So I know that the terror people have in their eyes when I walk down the aisle is real. I know they're just like, oh, no, please, no, God, no. So I see that guy, and he's bigger than me. I mean, he's a giant dude. And he's taller than me. He's probably like 6'4". He looks like an NFL lineman. He's just a big, white, corn-fed. You know what? He was Iowa in pants. Does that make any sense? It was like if you were to think of Iowa as a person, he was Iowa. But he was wearing pants. Not that Iowa doesn't wear pants, with their corn husks waving in your face. No, he looked like Iowa in pants, and I could see him coming, and I'm like, nah, that's not. There's no way. I don't think the airlines would allow the two of us to sit on the same side of the plane. Because the second we went in the air, we'd do a fucking barrel roll to the right, and everybody'd freak out. But he keeps progressing down, and it's a huge plane. So there's so many people in the aisle, and I'm like, oh no, that's nah, come on, it wouldn't be. And he finally walks down, and he passes me, thank God, and he gets in the aisle. He sits behind me. Which, good for him. Maybe he's going to lean out into the aisle and not crowd the people that are sitting next to him by the window. Who knows? So I'm sitting there waiting. I've got my headphones in because I'm in strict violation. I don't like when they tell me that I can't play my fucking headphones. I don't know. Someday we'll crash. But I'm sitting there. I've got my tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds in, praying. Nobody talks to me. I don't want anybody to sit next to me. It's just me and tweakedaudio.com/40. That's it. We're flying through the air together. And I've actually brought an extra pair to bribe somebody. Like if there's an empty seat next to someone, I will say, look, I will give you these tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds if you allow this person to sit by you and I get like all this empty seat. Because in the air, I used to do that. I used to pay $20 to people to try to give me an empty seat. I would bring money with me, like an uncle going to a Thanksgiving gathering with his nieces and nephews. I would have extra cash on me to try to bribe people. So a couple comes down the aisle, and they're counting and they're looking, and they get to put their stuff in the overhead. And then they tell the guy behind me, hey, those are our seats. And he's like, no, I'm in 32I or whatever it was. And they said, yeah, that's 33 that you're in. Yes, that's right. You saw where this was going. The only reason I would bring it up is Fat Guy is sitting next to me. So Fat Guy gets up, he lets them through, and he comes over and he looks at me, and all right, folks, he's Iowa in pants, okay, and I'm Illinois in pants. We should get along at this point. We're two fat dudes. We realize our lot in life. Instead, he stands up and he looks at me, and he actually shakes his head and he goes, "Fuck." This is awkward enough, Iowa. I don't know why you're fucking freaking out, but I get bad news. You're bigger than I am. And he sits down and he wedges himself in, and I go, how are you? And he goes, not good. And I've got the armrest. It's down. I always keep it down until someone comes and sits next to me, and because sometimes people say, hey, put the armrest up. I don't care. So the armrest is down, and Iowa sits next to me, and he's like, not good. I said, uh-huh. And I go, look, this is going to be we're pretty much jammed in here. This kind of blows, obviously, but maybe there'll be another seat. And look, I don't even want to talk to anybody, all right? I don't want to talk to him, but I don't know why I switched into this weird mode of, like, being defensive, because I'm always weirded out about being the fat guy on the plane. But he's acting like he's not fat. That's the weirdest thing in the world. Like, I'm inconveniencing him. He's like humping and being pissed off and, squeezing his seatbelt on around his goddamn Iowa flanks. And so I said to him, I go, hey, can I put the armrest up? That'd probably be easier for us. And he goes, no, keep it down. Which I don't fucking get. I mean, what are you doing other than causing pain to both of us now? I mean, you're not, believe me, every inch of our body is touching one another except for the fucking 3 inches from the goddamn armrest. That's the only thing that is keeping us from, fusing into one human being. Why don't I put up the armrest and we just fuse together into like a big, fat, flying, two-headed oracle who answers all flight questions in mid-flight for everybody? Iowa and Illinois teaming up to take on this goddamn plane. But instead, he was a pill. He was just an ass, sat next to me, fucking furious, all mad, and shifting and like elbowing and all that stuff. And I decided right then and there, I go, you know what? I don't give a fuck about this guy, because normally I lean as far over as I can. I try to, but I said, fuck this. I'm gonna ooze over in his. I don't give a fuck. So I did. I was as fat as I could possibly be. If there was a way I could have gotten fatter on the goddamn plane, I would have done it. Just to annoy him, just to piss him off, I did everything I could. I leaned my elbow on him. I fucking moved over because I'm going to sleep. Because again, as you've been indicated by the rest of the fucking show, I'm lethargic. I'm groggy. I'm almost in a goddamn coma. I can't wait to take off and just get some Z's, no matter who the fuck is sitting next to me. Well, now you're just my big fat Iowa pillow, buddy. That's what's happening to you. You better be lucky I don't drool on your goddamn Iowa shirt. And I did. I fucking clamped down the earbuds and threw on some tweetaudio.com/40earbuds, leaned up against the goddamn plane and said, that's it, I'm out. And I caught myself a couple times like kind of being snory, and one time I put my arm over on top of him, like I leaned over, and that one I did on purpose, I have to be honest. I leaned over and he kind of shrugged, he's all pissed off. I didn't give a shit. I was gonna inconvenience this asshole the entire time, because again, don't treat me like I'm the one who's giving you a hard time, because you would have been doing this to anybody else if he would have sat next to somebody else and like been, bleeding over into their seat and shit like that, would he have apologized, or would he have acted like he was entitled to be there? And if you're entitled to be there, why the fuck am I not entitled to be fat on a goddamn plane? Let's be fat together, goddammit. Let's be like the fat master blaster. But no, he was just a dick. And so I did everything I could to amp it up and be as much of a dick as I possibly could. And then I went to sleep and I woke up to this nightmare. This really happened. I'm asleep, and I kept, when turbulence happens or shit happens, I'm sleeping, and I'm getting nudged. But I was getting used to being nudged anyway, because then there was turbulence. The two of us, our fat is just like, rippling. It's horrible. But he's elbowing me, and I'm wondering if he's elbowing me to be a dick, and so I won't sleep. So I actually wake up and I look at him, and he goes, hey. And I'm still have my headphones on, and he points. And there's a woman, like I said, it's 2, 3, and 2. So we're in the far right 2. The woman on the aisle of the 3 is trying to get my attention through Iowa. And I look at her, I take my headphones off, and I go, yeah. She goes, could you open your shade? I said, what? Because I had the shade closed, because I'm sleeping. And she says, could you open your shade? I want to see outside. And I said, you should have bought a window seat if you wanted to look outside. That's why they have them. Because I was pissed off they woke me up. You woke me up to ask me to put my shade up so you can fucking look outside. And again, normally I'm a nice guy. I don't, if it was, and look, if you're sitting right next to me, I get that. But, I mean, she went through Iowa to fucking wake me up to open my shade so it's almost night so you can see dark. What the fuck are you looking at? And I said, that's why they have them. And I put my headphones back in and I closed my eyes and then he nudged me again and I look and she's like, no, please, I really want to see, outside. It's better for me. I'm a better flyer if I can see the outside. And we've been in the air for an hour at this point. I mean, because like I said, it's still light sort of outside, but kind of dark. But you're a better flyer. Then buy a fucking window seat if you're a better flyer when you can see outside. I couldn't believe it. Get a glass bottom plane. Buy your own plane. Seriously. I don't understand these people who think that they can just do what the fuck they want. And so I said, will you leave me alone if I open the window shade? And she goes, well, you don't have to be angry about it. And that was the only time Iowa looked at me with, like, sympathy, like, I don't get it either. Like, he kind of shrugged. And I said, okay, well, then I'm just going to leave it closed. And I put my headset back on and I went to sleep. And it was just like, at least, you've got to be, if you're looking for a favor, why are you being an asshole to me? I mean, you're not going to get it if you're going to be a dick. But again, everybody feels that they are entitled and they can do whatever the fuck they want. And look, who the fuck am I to even bitch about indulgence? I talk to you guys for hours. This week, I have nothing to say. This is horrible. I've basically kidnapped you. This is what I've done. I've kidnapped you this week, and no ransom will free you. Although I guess you get at the stop button pretty much because you realize how bad this one is. And again, I always get people give me grief. They're like, "Don't say how bad it is." And I shouldn't. I should never tell people how bad my product is. But I recognize this week that you know what? Maybe we're not really on a level playing field with each other. You came in with your ears all excited, ready to listen to me, and I'm lethargic and I've accomplished nothing and I've got nothing to share, other than the fact that Fat Iowa was my buffer between this woman who wanted to look outside because it makes her a better flyer. I don't get it. And I'll tell you this, I went to sleep. When I woke up, when we hit the ground, my shade was up. So I don't know if Iowa reached across and fucking opened it for her because she wouldn't shut the fuck up. I have no idea, but somebody opened it. So anyway, besides that, I went to sleep. I'll tell you this story. I go to sleep. Iowa's next to me. I'm going in and out. I'm listening to fucking Zeppelin. It's, whatever. I have a certain thing. When I take off, I listen to the Tool, and then when I land, I listen to Tool. There's a certain set list that I listen to. Yes, I'm weird on a plane. But you just pop in your tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds and boom, there you go. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking, I'm sleeping, and they give you the little thing where we're descending, okay, and this is weird too. When I woke up when we were descending, the shade wasn't up. Like it must have happened when I went to sleep in the interval. Now that I think about it, I should really think of these things through before I get on the air with you guys. But I was asleep, and then they give you that bullshit speech about what baggage carousel and everything. So that means you're about 45 minutes from landing. So it woke me up. I kind of got jostled, and I opened my eyes. And 2 rows in front of me, but in the middle. I look, and I just see a kid's head, like above the seats. He's like standing up and looking around. Kid looking around. And I'm like, oh, that's, I guess he's having fun. And then he walks over and he stands on the arm of the chair. He's completely naked. This is a little boy. He's got to be 3. It's not like he's a baby because he has a penis. 3-year-old boy naked on the plane. He's just naked, looking around, standing on the arm of the chair, and then he gets back in and he starts jumping. He's jumping up and down, and then he jumped into his mom's arms because they were 3. She was on one aisle, he was on the other, and I guess that maybe the dad was supposed to be in the middle, or he went to the bathroom, or maybe he went, oh my God, I can't believe my kid's fucking cock is hanging out, and disappeared. But he would jump, and then his mom would put her hands up like, yay, and catch him. He's completely naked, frolicking on the plane. I thought I woke up in an enchanted forest. And there was a sprite walking around waving his cock in my face. I'm like, dude, you've got to be shitting me. Put some pants on your fucking kid. You're not at home. And I wake up and I look at Iowa, and he's nodded off. Like, he's got his Des Moines buried right into his Fort Dodge. I mean, I don't even know. He can't move. And part of me now wants to wake him up and get back at him. I want to jostle him and go, dude, seriously, I need somebody else to witness the naked kid. I can't be the only person with this image seared in his brain for the rest of his goddamn life. And where are the stewardesses? Where are the stewardesses when this is happening, when this kid is fucking Garden of Edening up the entire fucking plane? Because, you know what? The stewardess doesn't hesitate to show up and take my goddamn apple juice. But she doesn't give a fuck about this kid with his plums on display? Jesus Christ. Wrap this kid in swaddling clothes and put him in the overhead. If his parents aren't going to parent him, then fucking, hey, sky waitress, you parent him. Jesus Christ. But he's jumping and hopping into her arms, and it was creepy as shit. Nobody had a problem with it. Nobody. Like, I'm looking around. I'm waiting for someone to say anything. Nope, nobody. And I wish I had a funny ending, or I confronted them, or I actually stood up and did something, but I didn't. All I did was I waited. And then when I got off the plane, they were by the gangway or whatever the fuck that's called, the gangplank. I don't know. And they're, of course, they're dressing their kids because they're going out into public. Apparently, because on the plane we're all family. But as they're going out into the terminal, they got to make sure the kid has some fucking pants on and tuck his cock away. But they're dressing him and putting him, and I hear them talking in their Russian, like they're in Russian language. But so you say and it's the same thing I thought. I went why? Is that acceptable in Russia? Are they just animals and they're running around with their children naked on planes? Is that how it's working? I know they're waiting in line for bread and poisoning reporters. I don't know what else the fuck they do there. All their children must be naked because they're not getting more blue jeans from America. Because my whole mindset with all I know about Russia is Drago lives there and he's waiting to fight Rocky again. That's literally the only thing I know about Russia. I don't know shit about it. I know Fedor and I know Drago. And I know they drink vodka. That's it. Vodka. Whatever the fuck they call it. They can't pronounce their V's. And then they have naked kids. That's in my new Russian lexicon. Because I don't travel and I'm not well versed. I don't know shit about anything, folks. I got to be honest with you. And I know what you're thinking. Good for you. Good for you. Just stay home in America and just be a xenophobic idiot. Aha! You didn't punch me. You dick. All right. So, I was bait. I just threw that out there to see if you would do it. And then I get home and Karen picks me up and she's like, I'm gonna go eat sushi. And I'm like, honey, I've had like an hour of sleep in a week. And she's like, well, come on, we have to have sushi. You like sushi? Yeah, okay. So I didn't want to go to. All right, look, our money is an issue, as you all know, as everyone knows. Money is as scarce as laughs are in this episode. Let me go ahead and throw that at you. I should just fucking hang myself. Honestly, I should just fucking hang myself and be done with it. Because then you'd laugh. You'd be like, oh, hi, listen to him. He's gurgling out his last gurgle. That would at least be funny or interesting. But I could probably fuck that up. All right, so. Karen's like, let's go have sushi, but I don't want to go to because our fancy sushi places are a lot of dough. So we wound up going, I have, I'm with a certain airline. I'm with American Airlines. What am I hiding? There's only 4 airlines left in the world, and we know I'm not flying Southwest because they won't sell me in Iowa a ticket. So I got to figure out who I'm flying up to Portland too. Whatever. No one cares. I fly American. That's who I fly. I have a bunch of miles with them. It's who I like to fly. And, I'm in an advantage program with them where I get miles if I eat at certain places and I use my card. You know what I mean? I can register all my credit cards and I get miles every time I eat. Well, I'm a VIP, so I get 5 miles for every $1 I spend. But it has to be somewhere that's on the list. And unfortunately, they have a bunch of shitty places on the list. I mean, one time I think I said Karen dragged me out to an Italian restaurant by the highway in a gas station parking lot. Horrible. Did I talk about that? I must have, right? I don't know. So there was a sushi place. I get on my phone and I look. They have a sushi place right by our house called Tokyo Delve Sushi. And we've always known it as Rock and Roll Sushi because when you drive by there at midnight, there's people outside, young people smoking, just hanging out front, whatever the fuck they do at sushi, whatever young people do at a sushi place. So I said, let's go there. I get miles. It's right by the house, and then I can fucking go home and go to bed. But I couldn't go to bed. I had to go right to goddamn Graveyardville. So we went to Tokyo Delve Sushi. We walk in, and I knew it was going to be trouble from the jump because there's long tables. There's a sushi bar, but then there's all these long tables. There's no individual tables. It's like these long bench tables where everybody sits. And we walk in, they're singing. Everybody is singing. There's a table of like 30, and they're chanting, and they're hitting the table, and they're chanting, sake bomb, sake bomb, sake bomb. And they're all drinking sake bomb. So I go, look, just get me. I just want to sit at the sushi bar, please. Anything. So we go over and we sit down. We order food, and it's all nonsense sushi. I hate shit sushi. Okay? I just can't stand it. I'm a snob. I'm a food snob. I didn't want to eat a lamb belt in Chicago. I don't want to eat shit sushi in fucking Los Angeles. But that's exactly what it was. But I didn't. I'm like, all right, let's just get our miles, get the fuck out of here. Well, meanwhile, the waiters are coming along and they're singing and they're dancing, they're jumping up on the tables and they're all right. Whose birthday is it? And it's like, it was like eating sushi in a children's birthday. I'm waiting for a naked Russian kid to come running out. I mean, honestly, it's that much of a zoo. And people are they're chanting sake bombs and they sing these special sushi songs. And I'm like, I hate it. And Karen is kind of like just kind of going along with it. But I can tell that she's I don't want to ruin her good time, all right? She doesn't want to sing, she doesn't want to dance and do all that stupid shit, but I also don't want to be a fucking stick in the mud, but I'm nearly comatose from having no sleep. So they start singing and dancing and they're doing their thing, and I finally look at Karen and I go, all right, we got to do this, right? I mean, we're here, why not? Let's just fucking dance. Why don't we just fucking dance? So everybody had to stand up. They had everybody stand up, and I said, all right. Well, I stood up, and they had us doing some stupid dance. I forget what it was, and we're singing out loud and chanting and singing the sushi songs. And at the table next to us, like we're at the sushi bar, but there's a table like right at a jar adjacent to us. There's a lesbian couple, and it was the kind of lesbian couple you see among young lesbian couples sometimes, where it was one really hot lesbian. Like, I mean, this girl was really cute, but she had to be 20. I mean, she couldn't be. And she was with a man lesbian, like wearing like a cholo fucking flannel over a black T-shirt with baggy jeans, really short cropped hair, and pierced nose, and no makeup. It looked like a dude, but with tits. And they're just, she can't keep her hands off the hot chick, which I don't blame her. I couldn't either, quite frankly. And they're making out. They're just making, while everybody else is dancing and singing about sake bombs, they stand up and they take the opportunity to wrap themselves around one another like stripes on a barber pole and fucking make out. So Karen is looking at them and she's looking at me like, it wasn't even a PDA. It was an XPDA. I mean, it was crazy how they were going at it. So they're in the foreground, and people are dancing and chanting and singing sake songs, and Karen and I are doing the same thing. And honestly, dancing and singing sake songs is preferable to eating this shit sushi, because it was just covered in like spicy mayo. Awful. They tarted up with rolls. Awful. Bad quality fish. The only reason people are there is to get fucking drunk. And when you're drunk, you don't give a shit what you're eating. Well, I'm not there to get drunk. I have an educated fish palate. So I'm up and I'm singing, we're dancing and doing whatever we're supposed to do, and the lesbians are making out, and a guy starts filming the lesbians. He just walks up with his camera phone. He's not even with that group, okay? And he walks up to film the lesbians, and he's holding his cell phone and he's filming them, and they catch him. They see that he's filming them, and they're going to lose their minds and start fucking screaming at him, right? No. Showtime for the lesbians. The lesbians start making out even harder, if that's possible, and they start really going at it, and like they're holding each other's tits and like pressing them up against one another and like working it for his phone. And I'm watching the whole thing. It's right in front of me. They're going at it. They're making out, and they're like faking like they're licking each other's nipples, and they didn't pull their shirts up. I was waiting for them to do that. But, everybody else is singing sake bomb, woo, and fish song and a sushi song, and the waiters are standing on the sushi bar. That's hygienic. And they're dancing around, and people are dancing and singing. These lesbians are making out, and everybody's chanting, like, go, go, go to the lesbians. And they're doing that, and the guy's filming it, and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And then I realize he's filming them, and I'm in the background dancing on their fucking tape. So for all eternity, if this guy uploads it to the web, he's filming, and they're in the foreground, like making out and licking each other's nipples, and in the back, just the fat guy going, sake, woohoo, dancing, because I tried to fake having a good time. I wanted to my wife, I didn't want her to be upset, I didn't want her to be sad. I'm like, you know what, maybe this will get me out of my fucking lethargy. And then I'm watching the lesbians, and that only leads me to get fucking going and start singing even more. I'm like, woohoo, all right, lesbos, yeah, sake bomb, lesbos, go at it, sushi. And then I'm getting filmed in the fucking background. God damn it. I'm on the grassy knoll of the lesbian makeout session. I can't have that. For years, people are going to be dissecting this fucking film just to see me in the background dancing with a stupid look on my face. I can't even imagine. My eyes must have been like saucers, and I'm dancing, singing a sushi song, watching these fucking lesbians make out. God damn it. So be on the lookout for anything from Rock and Roll Sushi with lesbians making out, because in the background there's going to be a fat guy going, good for you. Ow. You guys can get me at Mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can get me at Facebook.com/the40-year-old boy. You guys can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow our friend Lily at twitter.com/MNTs. You can follow her at twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp. And if you want to write her a personal note to find out how she got through this hell gig, because this was a hell gig, how she kept me from hanging myself, how she was able to keep me centered long enough to get this moving, and ask her how her hand feels, quite frankly. Go ahead and write her a personal note at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
I'm changing the game, boss!
Hey, all you fans of the 40-year-old boy. Mike's got new stuff to sell you. Stuff he hopes you'll enjoy. Just what's for sale, of course we do not know. All we can tell you
Is where you should go.
Zazzle.com, 40-year-old boy. Zazzle.com, 40-year-old boy. Zazzle.com, 40-year-old boy. Zazzle.com.
Is your business you?
What kind of stuff's for sale? We already told you we don't know. 'Cause Mike made us record this song way back in February. So we can only speculate just what Mike will try to sell you. Maybe his face on a tambourine, or his own line of gardening equipment. Zazzle.com, 40-year-old boy. Zazzle.com, 40-year-old boy. Zazzle.com, 40-year-old boy. Zazzle.com.
Maybe his own line of high chairs.
Zazzle.com.
His face on your personal massager.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine, 10 o'clock p.m. every Monday night. I'm good friends with the producer. I can't get you a ticket. I apologize. I can't get you on a list or get you in the door. However, I can always let you know who's coming to the show because the producer is my friend Lily Von Stupp. Lily.
Yes.
Hey, I heard all about this Monday Night Teas. I heard it's a fabulous affair.
It is a fabulous affair.
Last week was great. You performed and danced.
I did. I killed
That's
last
big.
week. It was
That's awesome. Had your nipples on display for all to see. Now, this week, who is coming? What is going on? Is it a theme show?
We're celebrating National Pie Day.
National Pie Day. All right.
3.14. It's March 14th.
Oh, you're getting all mathematical on people.
Yes, it's going to be all about the pie.
Oh, I see what you're doing with your double entendres.
Do you?
I do. Well, good for you. There will be. Oh, Jesus Christ! I said it again. See, I said it again. Do it.
Ow.
Yeah, well,
I can't hurt now.
I gotta stop saying it. It's ingrained. It's fucking hardwired in me at this point. It's no. I mean, it's as bad as being on here when I say literally. You know, I was doing that for a long time. Did I ever talk about the Google guy? Literally.
Yes.
I did. All right, good. Folks, I'm out of it. I'm just fucking left there. I need a nap. I need a week-long nap. But tonight I got to go, and but I will tell you this real quick. If you've sent me correspondence, brace yourself, because the next 2 days are me getting back into the social networking groove and returning every Twitter and doing Facebook and all the emails. You can jerk me off all you want, but it's happening.
No, thank you.
Oh, you were doing the hand deal. All right, people, you can't see. I forget we're not on video. All right, so this week is the pie celebration. Who will be performing at the pie celebration?
Who cares? It's all about the pie.
It is. Who's hosting?
I am.
Oh, see, there you go. Lily Von Stupp is hosting with Filthy Jokes.
Yes.
With her new Charlie Sheen joke she just told me today. Let's hear that joke. What was it?
Do you know how much cocaine Charlie Sheen did?
I don't know.
Enough to kill 2.5 men.
Ah, I get the meaning of it. It's double. More double meanings. Good for you. I said it again. See? Damn it.
Ow!
I have to stop saying it. I can't. I keep telling. I warned Karen. I'm like, please stop. Look, if you've got 3 people you've told to stop you from saying something, then you have a problem. Just stop saying it, stupid.
Should we have an intervention?
That's what we should do. Really, for that? That would be the one thing that would lead everybody to finally go, you know what? We got to get in this guy's tree. We got to climb into this guy's fucking tree and see what's happening up there because he keeps saying good for you over and over. You didn't have to punch me that time. It was a demonstration. But I don't blame you. It's fine. Maybe if it makes me think twice, that's good. Okay. So remember the Monday Night Tease is every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. It's funny. I have a little pep in my step now because the show's over. I'm like, yeah, thank God, because it was such a slog to get through this week, folks. I apologize. I don't apologize. Fuck you. I don't say I'm sorry for anything I do. Not fuck you. How rude is that? All of a sudden I'm mad at them? No, fuck me. That's right. Stupid. Okay, so also you can go to Facebook, as I've mentioned, folks. You can go to facebook.com/the40year-old boy. There's links on there for people who want to bring me to their town. Places like New York and Austin and Minneapolis, and there might be a Kentucky page rising from the ashes soon. But I can tell you that I am definitely coming to Portland. I'll be in Portland April 15th at the Hip Bone Studio. That show's at 8 o'clock. Tickets are on sale now through Brown Paper Tickets. There's a link available. I will Twitter it as well as put it on my Facebook page. And go ahead and buy some tickets to Portland. That'd be great. And as long as I get an idea of who's going to be there and how many people are going to be there, it would let me know if coming to Portland is going to be great or just good. That's going to be great. Come on, I get to meet everybody and see everyone and possibly have a voodoo donut. So it's exciting to go to Portland, and I don't know. I may have a security blanket coming with me. She hasn't decided, but she doesn't know. Because see, here's the thing: if she goes to Portland, the last thing she wants to do is be with me, because she knows like a million people in Portland. She's been there, she's lived there, and she's like, "Oh, I got a whole crew in Portland," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not bringing you up there to fucking schlep around with your crew. You got to stand there and tell me I'm great, and then run my fucking music." Which is, folks, that's the most important thing, right? I need somebody to sit there and tell me I'm great. So she's not sure if she wants to do that just yet. But there are a bunch of pages if you want me to come to your town and go ahead and sign up, and hopefully we can get stuff underway and squared away. She just wrote a number, and I'm going to yawn, and I'm just going to let it go because I'm going to catch up to all of the people who listened to this show because I'm sure they were yawning in their tracks, driving their cars going, fuck, why won't this guy just stop? Honestly, you see, you wonder why I don't think I'm doing a year 4. You wonder why year 4 is in play, folks, because of shows like episode 50 of year 3. Although, I got to be honest, the previous 49 were fucking amazing. So why would I fucking cut my own balls off over one show where I wound up a little stilted? I don't know. I can't, whatever. You folks don't want to hear. I should be on a couch. So go to Facebook, as I've mentioned, and sign up for those pages. A little Sharpie, what's that? Oh, for checking? I'll be checking right now because I wanted to tell people if they want to purchase things from the Zazzle store or if they want to purchase the year 1 and 2 download sets or the Super Angry Guy Gene Happy Good Time Yelling combo, you can go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and go to the Joe Business page and click through to Zazzle and click through on the year 1 and year 2 download sets and also the combo, the Guy Gene combo. Or if you just want to donate to the show, folks, and I don't say just in a way of like piddling just donate. It's cool when you donate, and I certainly appreciate it. Anybody who wants to donate to the show, there's an upper left-hand corner on every page of every page you've ever seen in your life. There's an upper left-hand corner. That was weird. Every page in the world has an upper left-hand corner. However, if you go to my website, in the upper left-hand corner of each page, you will see a little Schmitty there, and he's got a pocket out, and he wants you to click on him and donate to the show. If you would, that would be great. You would join the ranks of such people as Bill I. Jr., who donated to the show. I appreciate it very much. Josh O. I don't know what to say there because I don't want to say Josh's full name, but his last name is a contraction. So he's an O something, Josh O something. Michael W. Michael W. has contributed to the show. And also Jolene M. Jolene M. is donated to the show. So that's fantastic. All of those people donated. That's a Bill I. and a Josh O., a Michael W., and a Jolene M. And if you want to join them on the ranks of the donators, please, by all means, like I said, go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and click on the little me and click a donation amount. I will tell you it's a minimum $1,000. So you can imagine that I am raking in the dough. Look at my jet-setting lifestyle, folks. You see me. I'm going all over the place. I'm on a plane 2 weeks in a row, for God's sakes. Who am I? Tom Cruise? Please, Tom Cruise doesn't have to sit next to Fat Iowa. He just wants to. Tom's, because there's all the rumors. We all know the rumors about Tom. And who cares? I met Tom. Did I ever tell that story on here? I don't know. I'll tell that another time. All right. So there. I should have thought of this an hour and a half ago. I should have brought this story out. Again, go to, like I said, and if you want to follow me at twitter.com/40year-old-boy, you can do just that. Oh, and also there's the Westside 86 Jokers. Yes. That's available on Facebook. That's the Mike Schmidt fan club, who I can actually hear people fleeing in terror from the club after this week's episode. They're all just divorcing themselves from any sort of support for me or the show, and I can't blame them. Although they'll be regretting it when episode 51 comes up and it's great. Fingers crossed. Who knows? Who has any clue? And these very well could be the next 2 episodes could be the last 2 episodes of the 40-Year-Old Boy. We have no idea if there's a year 4, folks. So stick around for 51 and 52 and see what's going to happen. Because God knows I've got so many other options. And I think it covers everything, right? I'm getting people donating and talked about those people. Tweakedaudio.com/40. I don't know if they're going to want to be. I could have lost everything this fucking week. I could have just put everything in complete and utter jeopardy. Again, follow me on Twitter.com. You know what we need to do? Here's what we need to do to get me some money. We need to get Courtney Love to follow me on Twitter so that she listens to the show and then she can fucking make fun of me and pay me. Did you see that? She had a set of lawsuits from Twitter and MySpace that she like made fun of somebody on there. She paid a woman $483,000 in an out-of-court settlement so she wouldn't sue her I'm not lying to you. She like twittered some mean stuff about somebody, and the woman she filed a lawsuit, and so Courtney Love gave her $483,000 out of court to get her to drop it. I don't know how they arrived at that number. I guess, quite frankly, it seems to me like that's what Courtney Love had in her purse, thanks to her husband. Because let's face it, the whole money can't be still there, right? There's no way they can have the whole money still lurking around. And Frances Bean has got to be pissed off that her mom called somebody a ninny on Twitter and gave away $483,000 of her goddamn money. Frances Bean is old enough to get that cash now, right? Isn't she old enough?
I think she's almost.
She was living with her grandparents or something like that, and it was funny. All I could think of was the song Sliver by Nirvana. Every time I would hear that Frances Bean was like with her godparents or her grandparents, because that song is about how, Kurt Cobain got dropped off by his parents at his grandparents' house and he hated it. No one cares. You know what? Fuck getting. That seems convoluted to try to get Courtney Love to follow me on Twitter and then I have to sue her. I should just marry Frances Bean. That's my easy way to get into that cash, right? She's 18, right? Isn't she 18 yet? 16? I don't know. I can wait. Well, maybe we just go to New York or wherever the fuck. Like the age of consent is different everywhere. Maybe I just kidnap her, take over state lines. That's why I'm the bandit. That's what I will do. I'm fucking Burt Reynolds, and I'm just gonna kidnap her and have her throw her wedding dress off. Why do I spit out this random bullshit that nobody fucking cares about? I am peddling obscenity. I am going to get a whole fucking army of you people, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to listen to me and then do nothing for an entire fucking week. I can't be trusted. Don't you people know this? It was like the Back to the Future of suck. I don't want to have a boner in somebody else's pants. I need to shoot up heroin and jog. Hey, ass fuck, are you listening to anything that I'm saying to you? Fuck, somebody's got to shut that old guy up. And I'm like, fuck you! I'm not a potato! I'm a goddamn cantaloupe! Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike.